Hello and welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. This is day 13. I didn't think I was going to make a video for today, but I had the time, so why not? Today's video is going to be more of a process video than a layout share, and it may be longer, so buckle up. This is the sketch for today's layout. And one of the things that really spoke to me is how it looks like we have drawn edges here. It could be stitching, but it also can be interpreted as layers. And I'm going to make this into a very layered layout. So you've got your base, 1, 2, 3 additional layers. I also like how we have the tags hanging, but that's going to be a little bit of a challenge for me. Now, this is not anything for this layout. It's simply just to keep down the glare while I was talking through the sketch. And I'm using a Hip kit that I bought from one of their clearance sales. We have these really cute pockets, and then the elements to create the pockets. We have an alpha, and we have all of these embellishments. The reality is that I will not use everything in this kit on this layout. And I know I had talked yesterday about my goal is to use up the kits. I wanted to use up the kits. And sometimes I'm just not going to be able to because this is an entire kit. It has up 12 pieces of paper, if I'm not mistaken. And it's not been touched. I've not used it at all. So I will not be able to use up the entire kit on this one layout. But I can make a serious dent in the paper. These photos are of my two boys. This is my oldest. This is my youngest. They're wearing the very same outfit. And this outfit was passed down to a cousin who was born in between them, and his mom gave it back when Garrett was born so that we have photos of all three of them in the same outfit, and that is just super precious. Now, Colin is still an Auburn fan. Garrett had transferred over to being an Alabama fan when he got old enough to choose, but their dad is an Auburn fan, so I had bought an Auburn outfit for our oldest son. So this was back in 1992. And I'm going to talk about something very, very unique about these photos. I don't want to cut them down, and I'll tell you why. I had shared a photo with Garrett not too long ago, and it was the fact that it was him dyeing Easter eggs that I wanted him to see and just kind of remember. And I moved the photo because of the glare. But his first comment was, "I can smell that photo, the vinegar." Of course, we laughed about that. And then the second comment, he started talking about how the house looked because it was during the time that we were renovating. But the kitchen cabinets looked a certain way, the table was different, on and on. So I want to leave as many elements as I can in these photos because they show the couch, their baby quilt, this lamp that was, we used in the first part of his life, his baby blanket, the couch that we had during the early part of his life. And these are things that they want to see and remember in layouts that I do about them and about especially their early years. Garrett's comments really brought that home to me. Now, there are layouts that I do that are specifically for me. They're because I think paper is pretty, because I thought whatever I took a photo of at that moment was pretty and remarkable. And those layouts are probably not going to stand the test of time. And I'm okay with that. It is okay for me to use this hobby purely for my enjoyment. But there are also layouts that I do that are for remembering. And they're going to stand the test of time. My boys will hold on to those photos. They will hold on to those layouts. They will hold on to those memories because it's important to them. And that is also okay. So there are times that what I'm documenting is archival. And I make sure that the elements that I use is archival. And it's also about preserving those memories. And that is just as noble as creating just for the enjoyment and the art of creating. I just wanted to talk about that and touch on that for just a little bit. It's a little bit of a soapbox that I have, and I'm sorry for getting on that soapbox, but I want to make sure that we are all 100% okay with creating just for our enjoyment. And then when we have those times that we're creating a layout that we know is going to be preserved for generations, that it's okay. Both are just as important. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about paper selection. So, as I mentioned, this kit has a lot of paper, a lot of fun designs, and I'm going to tell you right now, this one is not going to be used in this layout because I love this and I want to use it for a future layout. I already know that. So this one's going to get set aside for future use. So I'm just going through and showing you the designs that we have. And I'm already, as I'm looking through them with you, I'm thinking about what the boys are wearing, the fact that they're babies, and I'm also considering the sketch. Okay, so this does not have 12 pieces. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I set aside 1, so that's 8. My goal is to put this as my background because I think that's going to let the photos do the talking. And I want to create those layers. And I like that this is tone on tone, and it's going to provide some contrast, but it's not going to be so busy that it takes away from the design. So I like that. These florals also are, so I've got 2 different styles of florals, but I really like the dark background in this one. So that's going to be probably a layer. I think I'm going to fussy cut this floral because there's a lot of separation, and it's going to make it super easy to cut out these. So these are going to be some of my embellishments. And then we have, so I thought about this one as a background, as a layer, and I can totally do that. So that could work. But we also have this yellow that I'm really, really fond of. So that may be replaced. My pink may be replaced with, and then maybe this. So I think this floral, I'm going to cut out the center of it to keep it in my stash, in my scraps, and I think that is going to be my background. I believe that's how I'm going to use it. So that's going to create 4. This is going to be cut into 5. I will use 5. I'm going to have these 3 pieces left over to use for future layouts. I think that's a big dent in this particular kit. I'm going to pause and start doing the cutting and laying out my layout, and then I'll come back. I'm to the point that I'm getting ready to fussy cut out flowers, and I kind of wanted to talk about what I'm looking for this layout when I'm choosing what I'm going to fussy cut. I don't want stems. So I really want something that I can tuck easily. Not that I can't tuck stems. I'm just considering this layout and this sketch, and I want rounder elements. So this cluster is pretty much already made for me, and I could take some more of these stems and tuck in. I may do a couple that way, but that will be my large embellishment. For small embellishment clusters, I want these rounder elements that have leaves on them. That's what I'm looking for. And so like this one, those are the ones that I'm going to choose. And I'm thinking about doing, of course, 3 clusters. So I want to take out enough so that I can tuck and create those 3 clusters. Now we all know I have plenty of embellishments with this kit. I've done my fussy cutting here, but I decided to, because I want this to be a little more boy-centric and little boy-centric, I decided to pull 2 pieces of paper to make my tags out of from the Toy Box by Echo Park, from that 6x6 paper pad. And so I will use both of those to be mats for my photos. I also pulled this from Echo Park, Play All Day sticker book, because it has more of the vibrant colors. So this is more primary colors, where this is into the secondary colors, but it's going to work together because this orange yellow works with that. So anyway, and there are reds and there are blues. It's going to work, I promise you. I also pulled out these from P13 because the black and white will definitely work, but this teal is a deeper tone for these leaves and it will work. Okay, like I said, I have plenty to play with, but these elements don't really fit this layout. So these are likely not going to be used. I will use my alphas to create my title, but other than that, we're not going to use the things that came in the kit. Okay, I'm going to map my photos and I will be back in just a moment. Before I map my photos, I wanted to go back to what I had talked about earlier. So in these photos, there are things that I want to keep. So this flip photo frame, this, the couch, the blanket, and of course, my sweet baby. The fact that we had that old pine paneling on the wall, that I want to keep. But this down here at the bottom is not necessary. So I'm going to trim that part off. And I'm always looking for those kind of elements in photos it's just repeated space that is not necessary for the story. Everything that's in here is necessary for my boys. They will want it. And you can hear my dog barking. So it, excuse me, it's going to make it easier to just mat this photo using this paper. And then this photo, I'm not trimming anything off because I don't need to. I just don't feel like I need to. So I'm going to map my photos. I'll be right back. I'm looking at the sketch and I'm trying to decide. I'm not going to be able to create tags from my photos because they're 2 different orientations, and I'm trying to place them staggered similar to how she has here, but I don't want to cover up anything that is detail specific. So I want to keep the blanket, and we don't need all of the couch, so I can overlap there. What I am going to do to create the tags is place tags behind my photos to create the element, and then I will do my string from the top, and that's probably going to be a drawn string. Then I'm going to create my title over here the way she did. I am not going to do journaling around the edge the way that she has specified, but I will get my title in here and I'm going to do my journaling over here, and I'm going to create probably a cluster around my title, and then I'm going to do a cluster here. So it's just going to be 2 clusters on the diagonal, and my photos will be that third piece that draws your eye around. And I will do my cluster, my strings from my cluster, and then add tags. So I've got to get some paper to create my tags with. I'll be right back. I've talked about this before. I keep these within arm's reach, these tag books from K & Company, and I used this one. It's a Beautiful Day in Paradise from Marcella K, and they are by K & Company. I started to use these two, and I decided to just stay with the same color, but these are just things I need to get used up, so I keep them within arm's reach. And I think I was out of frame. I just want to make sure I show those again. I just keep them within arm's reach, so that I can see them and add them as needed to layouts. Okay, this is how my tag placement is going to be. And then now I'm going to just start building my clusters. And my title, like I said, will be here. And I will probably do some floral elements, like just small ones around my title. Something like that, just something small. And then I'm going to have a cluster up here at the top. And I like this one. And I want it to bleed over the layers. So we're going to add in some other elements. We will consider this, maybe. Okay. So, kind of liking that. I want to add in some of these stickers just because they're babies. And I'm trying to think what I would like most. They were huge, both of them, into Lego. So I like the Lego stickers. I like the airplane, so that could be added. So we're going to consider that one. And let's see what else. I like maybe the baby animals. So let me start adhering things down. And I'm going to be honest, the layout's probably going to be finished by the time I come back. But I'm going to pause because I don't like for you to watch me when I'm adhering things. I pretty much have this done. There's a few more things that I'm going to do, but I wanted to show you that I've added more of the reinforcers to my tags. I just love that. It's something that I am super fond of. And I added a lot of stickers. I've got my baby lion there, my baby rhinoceros here, not rhinoceros, triceratops. my boys would absolutely have a fit if they heard me say this was rhinoceros. It's a triceratops. And then my baby elephant here. This was in my embellishments bag pack. And it said, learned this from Dad. And I had to add it because, you know, their dad is an Auburn fan. And I didn't mention this in the beginning, but this collection is called Stories We Tell from Hip Kit. And then from my P13 stickers, I just added Friends for Life. I did my airplane. It is upside down. I don't think my boys will ever even notice that. And then another cloud. So I did get some stickers on here. I added another tag over here because when I started putting these down, I noticed this great big journaling area. And I thought, why did I not add one over here just so I can do my journaling and get that out of the way? So the title is Same Onesie, and I am loving how this is turning out. I didn't think I was going to be a fan of it, but I am. I really, really like it. So I'm going to go ahead and add my string from the top. It doesn't have to be super perfect. And we're just going to, we want them to look like they're joining up here at the top. And I'm going to add a bow on each one of those. Let me see. I had a Maggie Holmes sticker book. Let me pause for a second. Okay, I found it. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. It was just the reach. My friend Jeannie, her channel is Curly Q Crafter. Curly Q Scrapper. My gosh. And I'll have hers linked below so that if you want to watch her, but she is great at organization. Anyway, we were cropping together one night and I was saying that I wanted some bows that I could reach easily, and she suggested Maggie Holmes. So of course I have this Maggie Holmes book, and I am going to find bows that are appropriate for this layout. Just flipping through, looking, there we go. That's what I want. I'm going to add these black and white bows to my tags. They're a little fragile. That's perfect. That's actually just perfect. These are very thin. If you were to, I got this at Tuesday morning, eons ago, it feels like now, but I am tickled to get some of the stuff used up. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause and just kind of look through the book to see if there's anything else from this, since I have it out, that I can add. I decided against adding anything else because I really love the layout just as it is. And I'm just going to tell you right now, these little cheeks and those little legs right there, oh my gosh, I could just eat them up. Oh, I miss those baby days. Okay, we have finished this layout. Thank you for joining me. Down below is going to be the playlist for everyone that's playing along on this round. Come back. We're going to chat again soon. Bye-bye.